Hey, welcome everybody to the Atheist Experience. Countered. Oh no, this is not actually a real show. This is just a hangout for anybody who wants to do anything other than listen to Veronica ramble on with her nonsensical arguments that she's done a million times. Let me summarize the entire hangout that I just listened to. Is basically went beta claps, helicase, gyrates, ATP synthase, design. That's it. There you go. That's it. Design, helicase, beta clamps, gyrates. By the way, Ronnie doesn't even realize that in a human, you don't even have those things. There are not beta clamps in a human. It's not gyrates. It's topoisomase. But all the stuff he names off isn't even in what you find in a human. The ATP synthase that he talks about isn't even in a human. He's talking about VATP synthase. But anyways, who cares? That's biology. I'll save you guys a lot of time from watching his bullshit. So I just figured whenever Ronnie's running a hangout, or excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misgender. Veronica's having a hangout. We're just come over to the Atheist Experience counter program over here to the Great Debate community and just talk about something else. Anyways, the link to get in is there. Oh, I got Heavy Holler already. There we go. So, hey, Heavy Holler, did you listen to that? Great.
How y'all are doing?
I'm doing fabulous.
Fabulous, darling.
Fabulous. I like that word. I'm actually culturally appropriating that word away from gays. I like that word, and I'm using it. It's fabulous. Okay.
Well, you know, Ken Ham is already trying to take our rainbow away from us.
I think that's hilarious.
We've done things with that under that rainbow that he can't even imagine, honey.
What is he even thinking by doing that? I mean, I at first I thought, okay, how are the gay community going to take this? And I thought if they were smart, they would be praising the hell out of this, and they did. They were joyful.
I think it's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's a rainbow arc.
It is a big Ken Ham's gay barge. Yeah, you know. But anyways, I just wanted to open this up. I'm doing this in the alternative channel. May not get a lot of people watching because only 150 people subscribe to this channel. But if you want to put the link out there for other people, it's fine. But I mean, I can't watch Ronnie's stuff, Veronica stuff anymore. I just can't. I got in for like a minute or a couple minutes, and I'm like, this is just absurd. There's nothing he says that's any different from his argument. Oh, the Atheist Experience, they don't want to talk to me because they're scared of me. They run because they have no counter to the fact that it looks design, ergo it's design. ATP synthase. Let me tell you something, Veronica. Your fucking arguments are stupid. Outright goddamn dumb stupid. Nobody wants to go into your hangouts because, one, your arguments are stupid. Two, you boot. I get that boot. I'm turning Canadian here. You hear this? You cannot carry on a conversation. Nobody wants to go into your room anymore. Even the people that at one time were willing to go in have all messaged me saying, "Fuck no, I'm not going in there." So nobody's gonna have a conversation with poor Veronica. Maybe one small fool, maybe, but for the most part, nobody cares. And now he's trying to emulate my channel. Oh, I'm gonna get quote unquote Hovine. It's Hovind, you dumbass, into my channel, and I'm gonna start getting guests. Yeah, you know what, Veronica? Nobody gives a shit. Your channel's done. You get about 19 people watching on a good day, and I would say that 18 of them are against you, and I would say out of that 18, 16 are blocked in your live chat. Yeah, that's not a following. It's just I don't know what to say to this guy anymore. I mean, I don't talk to him. I mean, I have nothing to do with him. He's divorced me. But Fiona had actually said in the Great Debate forum, she said some friend of his needs to actually pull him aside and say, Veronica, you're acting a fool. You really need to stop this, because the Atheist Experience doesn't know who the hell you are. They don't care who the hell you are. You're a nobody. Your arguments are shit. You can't carry on a decent conversation, which is why you never come into the rooms that do have conversation. I mean, Heavy, you weren't there this morning, but did you watch the Sunday show this morning, or did you see it?
No, I've been on Facebook a lot today.
Okay, but Tony did. Tony, you did, right?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. It was a pretty full room when we started off. I mean, we had 80 people watching. He'll never have a full room.
No, not at all. It was an interesting topic too. It kind of threw me off. I couldn't talk either. It's something a little bit at least. But
Was your mic not
yeah,
working?
it was interesting. No, I'm just on my way to Georgia, or I'm back from Georgia, and we're in a car, and driver needs music.
Yeah, you sound like you're still in a vehicle.
Yeah, I am right now. I'm almost home. I'll be home in like 20 minutes probably.
Well, I don't know how long this hangout's going to be for. Like I said, I don't care. I'm going to just give somebody something else to listen to other than Veronica's daily bullshit. I just, again, it just boggles my mind. She thinks these are good arguments and that nobody really wants to talk to her.
I didn't even get to hear what exactly they're saying because my YouTube's messed up. I tried listening because I wanted to see what she was talking about, but I don't know. I couldn't. I had posted something and I wasn't even going to put the link in. I wasn't watching it. And then the doctor said, oh, it's already over and it's been deleted. I was like, well, that had to be pretty interesting. Then I find out she started another one. I had popped over there just in time for her to talk about ATP synthase and beta clamps and gyrays and all these jargon bombing shit, which, by the way, again, you don't find in human cells. So I don't know what the hell the point is. Yeah, my whole notification thing was like riddled with her notifications. It's
her testing
starts to hang out, and then why is it that she can't get it straight? I've never done a hangout, so I don't know how difficult it is. Maybe it's hard, but I think after
it's not that bad.
I think after all the time that you put into it, you should know by now.
No, it's not that difficult, but I see that all the time. Test. What the hell is all that?
I know. What is that about? It annoys the hell out of me too. Off air or something like that.
But anyways, I'm putting this link out to a bunch of people. Maybe people want to come and join. I like the Atheist Experience show myself. I think they do a pretty decent job of putting forth an argument. Do I always agree? No, but I mean, when I listen to somebody like Veronica call in, I put myself in their shoes. I'm like, they must be thinking this person is fucking mental, right? Yeah. They don't listen. What's that?
Yeah, they're pretty good at catching him and getting him off right away because they know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that when he calls or she calls, there's a little banner that pops up like weirdo, and so.
I don't know if they even know. But I mean, I think that they've interacted with so many people. When you listen to somebody like this that's just talking complete shit, the bullshit flag flies up, and you're like, I'm not going to even address this because nothing he says makes sense. And then he just wants people to go in and, well, let's discuss this. No, Veronica, there is no discussion. You're an idiot. Your arguments are shit. They've been rammed down your throat for years now. Move the fuck on. Seriously. It's gotten to the point where I think you are seriously getting mentally disturbed. That you're running these same idiotic arguments that were shit to begin with. And now that people have actually argued with you on them and showed you why they're shit, and you're too stupid to understand why they're shit, no one cares. We just do this for lulls. And the only reason I even started this hangout was for lulls. That's it. Just my own personal entertainment. Nobody else. I mean, if anybody else wants to laugh too, that's fine too, but it's just for my lulls. It's all about me and Heavy. I want Heavy to laugh. See, Heavy laughs at these people too. And Heavy is a nice guy. Heavy is a very nice, understanding person. I'm sure he'll give you the shirt off his back. And I mean that strictly, platonically. Well, maybe even not, because he's a nice guy. But even he thinks Veronica is just a fucking whack job at this point.
Well, you get to a certain point to where you just want to grab him by the neck and bitch slap him, about 100 times, because you hear the same old stuff. Right now you're familiar with Facebook and what happens on there. Like there's that Tommy Alter. I'm doing some research on some of his shit. And he posted something 3 days ago and hardly anybody's responding to it because he's brought it up before. And I said, wrong again. And somebody said, well, show he's wrong. So now, just for the hell of it, I'm going back and I'm looking up stuff where, okay, he's wrong here, here, here. here's the links. Here's more links to this and that and the other thing. Tommy doesn't bother with links. The only link he gives is to his blog, and the information he shows there, he doesn't give links to where he got that from. He doesn't list his resources.
Yeah, well, he's also, again, one of those people that when I first ran into him on Facebook way back when, I knew he was a shit talker. All he did was just take whatever somebody said in response and throw out some other shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about the topic itself. He'll just throw out some technical jargon that has nothing to do with anything. And everybody who knows anything about the topic goes, yeah, this is just nothing to do with anything. I don't deal with those guys because they write so much that, in fact, even today, even on one of the forums, Holy Kool-Aid, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Holy Kool-Aid, it was Apologia had asked, how do you respond to people making comments? You want to be able to respond to all the people that are nice enough to read a comment on your video. And oh, I'm sorry, Surreal, I just saw you. I was showing everybody in broadcast. Get back in here, Surreal. One of the things I said was, well, I kind of have a rule of thumb. The longer a post is, the less I respond for the most part, because I find that the very long comments are usually nonsensical walls of just ranting. I have no time or patience or energy to respond to those because I realize that they're not going to be read anyways or understood if I do. Right, Johnny, are you okay? You got some, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, you got a lot of background noise.
Oh, sorry, my air conditioner's on.
Okay. I saw Surreal jump in, but then he jumped out.
Yeah, one thing for me, it's like I'll see something and it kind of gets my interest. Even though something tells me this is so wrong. So I start doing research on it, and so, it's like I've said before, I learn something along the way, even though I'm responding to an idiot. But a lot of times I see what they say or what they're bringing up again, I go, no, screw this, I got something better to do.
That's what it is, isn't it? I mean, it's like this just like right now. Okay, Johnny, I'm getting a lot of weird noises. Like the Atheist Experience countered. It's just you have something better to do. Anything is better to do than listen to Veronica's. She calls it a show. Veronica, that's not a show. Mine is barely a show. I understand mine's barely a show. That's why I think it's funny. I have a shit name for a show because I couldn't think of anything better, and that's why I like it, because it is just a shit show. I have no problem with that, but I recognize it's a shit show. That's why I get like 100 people watching. Veronica doesn't understand. She just has a shit show, period. There's not even a show. There's nothing there. It's just her going, ATP synthase, design.
Well, Ronnie's new favorite line is,
don't misgender. You're triggering me.
I'll misgender all I want. But he was saying,
Are you pulling the gay card on me?
No. I just have a little bit more respect for trans people rather than to lower myself to Ronnie's level.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I would call Ronnie Miss Thing. Like Miss Thing needs to really get a grip. But see, that would associate Veronica with the gay community, and honey, I don't want her in.
No, I wouldn't either. I don't.
Well, I used to call Ronnie a bitch, but that was insulting to dogs because they can at least learn something. Yeah,
that's mean to dogs. It really is. Dogs could do new tricks. She doesn't learn anything. She's running the same fucking argument she's done since she was first on like the Skype call with Drunken Peasants or the Magic Sandwich Show. Nothing has changed. Nothing. I mean, at this point, I think she's trolling. I don't even know. Do you think she could be serious? Is she this oblivious?
I genuinely think that TE is this oblivious.
Wow. That's
what's the favorite little criticism against evolution? Well, they've never tested the mechanisms.
I heard him say something like that. Yeah. They never tested the mechanisms.
What are you even talking about? I want to know what TE thinks the mechanisms of evolution are.
Well, they've never
asked that.
Well, he's like, well, you're just assuming that small mutational changes can lead to large morphological changes, causing a speciation for a dog to produce a chicken.
You forgot to throw in ATP synthase.
Oh, and ATP synthase, which he gets confused with ATP and doesn't think is an enzyme at one time. Okay, whatever. Yeah. But anyways, I wanted to start a little hangout here because I actually like the Atheist Experience, and I don't know what his main issue is with it. I wish I can get some guests on from the Atheist Experience. I've been trying. Jennifer People said she would, but then I haven't been able to reconnect with her. I might reach out to Tracy Harris, but man, she was shit if I got somebody from the Atheist Experience on. Even though I know the producer, I talked to him, and Russell Glasser's in a group I'm in. But I've talked to obviously Aaron Raw and what's the other guy, Spectre, or the black guy? I forget his name. But I just want to get somebody from the Atheist Experience just because I know it would really torque his chain, right? Or her chain, sorry.
You mean the black guy that kind of has the afro going on?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name, damn it. But
Phil Spector.
No, I was just going to say real quick, he's also in the Atheist Helping the Homeless down there where he lives, down at Texas. It's this thing what I'm involved with up here.
It's Phil Sessions. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Not Phil Spector. He was some producer or something in a murder thing. Phil Sessions, yeah.
I think the problem that TE mostly has with it is he keeps calling them and they can't remember who he is. That really annoys true empiricism.
True. Yeah, he does take it personally, but he does have a distinctive voice. I will give him that, which makes it really even the worse, right? You hear his voice or her voice, you know it's her. You just know. I think like you have a distinctive voice, Doc. I can always know your voice. Heavy, pretty distinctive. I don't think my voice is that distinctive, but I guess a lot of people recognize my voice, so maybe it's a little more distinctive than I think. But people are like, oh, the life, they're like, yeah, we'd love to see Tracy on. Yeah, no, I would love to get Tracy on too. Yeah, RFC, the link is right here. I'll give it to you right now. Oops, that's not it. Shit. Yeah, this is a small little hangout. This isn't really anything big. That's why I didn't have it on my channel. Just community stuff. We only have 150 subscribers to this particular channel, so it's not like there's going to get a lot of views.
Yeah, if I was straight, I'd say Tracy is hot and smart. Now there's a combination.
She is cute. No, I think Tracy Harris is cute, definitely, and she is smart. I'd be attracted to that, yes, but I'm straight, unless you go to my Facebook page, and then it's questionable. Did you see what people were writing on my Facebook page, Heavy? Like the girls have been writing, like one of them, Ellen, she wrote, she's like, I got to ask about this. What does this really mean, Steve? And I was like, well, just because you don't think it's wrong to be gay and you're not a homophobic bigot, people kind of assume that you're gay or have gay tendencies. And Ellen was like one of my girlfriends for like 2 years. And I'm like, she could definitely testify not gay. And the other one, Hillary Klein, definitely can testify I'm not gay, even though I didn't remember, but now I do. But oh God, I felt so bad. I was like, oh, she's like, Steve, I really feel, she's like, that was actually something special to me. I'm like, I don't fucking remember. I was like, I remember being with somebody in the sauna. I just didn't remember it being her. And I know exactly what she looks like. I remember her extremely well from high school, but I didn't remember we actually hooked up. And, yeah, that was like, she had things done to her that she never had done before. So I was like, wow, I was your first? I never knew that. Yes, score, But then I found out she was hurt that I didn't invite her to prom and that, she thought I blew. She wanted to actually date. I didn't know that. Oh, well. What could have been, right?
You've been there.
Yeah, explains why I'm gay on Facebook, I guess, right?
Well, I don't know. Some people have a problem with reading comprehension, I think.
Dude, but I'm telling you, Heavy, I'm not lying to you. If you're not, to some people, if you're not a gay homophobe, you are like latent gay tendencies. I don't know how they make that jump in reasoning. Oh, email. Oh, that's okay. You could have stuck around email.
So basically, it's everyone has gay tendencies then. Well, if you're a gay homophobe, so like Ted Haggard was a gay homophobe.
Well,
and he obviously had gay tendencies.
So
And then everyone else has latent gay tendencies, so everyone has latent gay tendencies is what they're trying to say.
So everybody's a little bit gay, is what
Yeah.
you're trying to say.
Well, I'm trying to understand what it is
That reasoning,
you
yeah.
had said, and I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, homosexuality isn't like an on-off thing. It's like a sliding scale.
It is, I guess, in a way. But I mean, I personally have never been attracted to men. I've never ever gone out saying, "Hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna pick up a dude tonight." Never has happened.
Well, it's kind of like you have people that are straight. They'd have no inclination to be with a man, and if something came up, no matter how hard up they were, they still wouldn't. You know, it's just
I wouldn't. Yeah,
it's like one time I've been with a woman. One time I was so drunk.
Well, how old were you?
Oh, I got early 20s, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. And I'm like, okay, not doing this again. You know.
What is it? Okay, I'm curious. What is it you didn't
So
like?
basically, she couldn't flip you heavy.
What was that, RC?
Oh, I said basically she wasn't able to convert you or flip you.
No, and she was cute too.
Okay, but what is it you didn't like? I mean, now that I remember what happened with this chick, I remember the details. I was like, oh yeah, this was prime stuff. I mean, she was cute and thin and tasty. What is it about a woman that you just don't like? I think they're squishy and they're other places. I mean, even gay men like boobs. We all know this. That's a fact.
Well, I don't know. It was weird. I mean, because, you know, it's like, you know, we did it and all, but it was like after that, I'm like, I had no interest at all in doing it again with a woman. I cannot say.
Well, we've all had women that we've done stuff with. We had no interest in ever doing it again. That's normal, actually.
Maybe
There's time to break for everything, and it's called college.
Yeah, it's called college. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was because something was missing.
Your penis?
I mean, hey, strap-ons strap-ons don't work, you know.
I just don't know what there isn't to like about a nice female form. I think it's got everything right in the right places, you know.
Yeah, it's just like I have absolutely zero desire. I just did that one time to see what would happen if I would really enjoy it, or maybe if that would help convert me or something. No, that was
interesting.
But I mean, gender is just a social construct, man. Like if she just identified as a man, it wouldn't have been a big problem, right?
If she was all female, you know, and she said, well, you know, I gender associate as a man, I wouldn't have cared. I'd been like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. As long as she was hot, yeah.
And sign me up for the gay club.
Yay, fabulous, baby. You know. Of course, she'd probably like sports, which I'm not a big fan of. She'd probably be able to beat my ass arm wrestling, you know, if she gender identified as a male. But yeah, no.
Steve, you're applying gender roles right now. Okay, come on.
I am applying. Well, no, they're just generally speaking to be the case. I mean, so social constructs, right? But if you were some hot chick, and it's, you know, you're married now, but before, and you know, she's like, and yeah, she was really a female, but she's like, you know what? I gender associate as a male. You're not going to stop. You're not going to stop. You're going to be like, oh, that's fine. Just lay there. It's okay.
So
hey.
moving right along.
Well, you know, hey, it was either this
there.
or go watching Veronica.
I'm thinking now.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say this was going to be like much better content than Veronica's. I just, you know, just something alternative to Veronica's.
I think the thing that you need to clarify for Sokka is who's Top Gun and who's Bottom Gun.
It doesn't matter. You be my wingman any day, Goose.
He's a side shooter. Yeah, the reason for this hangout was just Veronica was having one, had like 18 people watching, 19 people watching or so, and he already blocked most people in the live chat, and nobody would go in to talk to him. He was sounding so pathetic. Oh, the link is in the description. Come on in, talk to me so we can have a chat. And people in the live feed like MP are going, fuck no. MP is like, no. I go that. He's like, I would, but we already know how it ends because you're just an asshole.
MP's in there right now.
Oh, you did go in there?
Yeah, I was trying to join, but the link that he kept posting was a broken link.
Oh. See, but I don't know why MP does this. I mean, it basically just reinforces, I think, Veronica's insanity. I don't think he's doing her any justice by going in and validating her shit channel. You know?
You know, I've
I mean,
mentioned,
he's his own, but what? I'm sorry. What's
I've
going on?
mentioned this before. You know, he tries to talk the scientific stuff, and you know, when he's got a lot of people in there going, "Oh yeah, you're all right, you're the man, you're correct," you know, you're our science, whatever. But you never see him have a hangout. Okay, remember that stuff with Jeffrey Tompkins?
Yeah.
Y'all were accessing databases and stuff, you know, and looking at the fusion point and checking the genes and this and that. Four or five different hangouts, and these were incredibly complicated. And these were people that knew the stuff and were together in there talking about it, figuring it out. Brilliant. You ever see him do anything like that with anybody?
Well, he's not competent enough to.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that when he did, when he was actually like in a hangout with like Ruhif would like show him the genetics, the sequencing, and he'd be like, "Oh, well, look at all those telomeric repeats," and Ruhif would be like, "What the fuck are you looking at? Oh, those are all G-rich regions," and he's like, "Oh, there's TAAAG. It's a telomeric repeat." No,
Maybe that's why he did so poor in your debate. Was he was tuning his guitar, but he got distracted by the G string.
he was trying to tune it to
Like, every note I play is G rich. Every note I play is G rich.
No, he was trying to tune it to T.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell that means? Yeah, no, he thought that TAAG was a telomeric sequence. He thought that basically anything with a T, A, C, or G was a telomeric repeat. It was really kind of odd.
Yeah, he
But he
didn't
doesn't want to learn
understand the repeat part.
But he doesn't understand that a telomeric repeat in the humans is a hexamer. It's TAAGGG. That is the telomeric repeat. And near the fusion site, there's many of them. There's like 16 on one side, and then the reverse complement is like, I don't know, like 14 or something on the other side, give or take, whatever it is. So he doesn't get that. And when he likes Wikipedia, right? That's where he studies everything from, is Wikipedia. And he read that there's other telomeric sequences in other species, and he just basically attributed it to humans, just like he did with the beta clamps and all this other shit, right? He just hears these things and go, "Oh, look, gyrays." Okay, humans don't have gyrays, but what they do have, Seth MacMullen. Dun dun dun.
You know, at least he has a good counter to all those to the chromosome argument that atheists always use.
Seth is a good argument to everything.
I have extra chromosomes.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Like 49 or 53.
Well, G-Man thinks humans
46.5.
generally have 43 and 45. Brilliant, G-Man. But Seth, how you been, man? You don't come around too much anymore. We miss you. Why you been ignoring us?
It was a busy week.
Dude, come on. You've been hanging out Discord. I gave you editor things. You haven't done shit with that. You really haven't loved us too much. We miss you at the Great Debate Community.
I'll try to participate some more.
I'm feeling dejected and unwanted, kind of like Veronica and her hangout tonight.
Just the Hangout app on my phone is so unwieldy.
Well, don't you have a computer?
I do, but most of my participation in Discord is on my phone while I'm at work.
Oh, that's right. You like to be in hangouts while you're at work a lot. What do you do that I don't even want to know what you do that's allowed you to do that.
I'm a dispatcher.
For police?
No, for logistics.
Oh. Oh, so you get a comfy little chair and a radio.
I don't really get a radio, but that's what my smartphone's for, I guess.
Why do you do dispatching without a radio?
Oh, nobody uses radios anymore, and people are too far away to use radios for. So I call them, or I send them information on their truck computer.
Oh, you're high tech. Gotcha. So Tyler Durden just said, "Fuck me, those people were stupid. I had someone to try to tell me that the double slit experiment proved that mine was immaterial." Hey, Tyler, guess what? Fuck, those people were stupid.
Amen.
Yeah. RSC, by the way, you don't come around too much either. I mean, I know you're busy and everything, and you're doing the live chat, but it's nice that you're able to drop in for a change.
Yeah, one of the few nights I actually have off.
They gave you a night off?
Days.
What
Well,
happens?
not that I.
What happens if there's an emergency? What are they going to do?
I'm not actually working in a hospital right now. I'm seeing patients at nursing homes or rehab centers. So.
Oh, that's cool. That's
them
awesome.
On a schedule. Awesome. That's okay, but you know,
well, my dad was in a nursing home before he passed, and they treated him pretty well. They were really good. I was quite happy at them, because you have all these nightmares of nursing homes, right? But I think a lot of them have got a lot better. But the ones my dad was at, they treated him pretty well.
Yeah, it's always really rewarding to help people who are in that kind of situation. You know, hospice care, end of life care. It can be very tricky for people who aren't well versed in it, but it can be really rewarding when it's done right. You know, even if you're not able to help them in the long term.
So why can't Veronica do something like that rather than waste her time talking about intelligent design and shit? I don't know. She's a Christian. She should go help people. I have no problem with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have anything to argue about, Steve.
True. Fair point.
And he's here for the debate, the fight.
No, he's not. She's not. She's not. I consider Veronica to be not even worthy to have a discussion with any longer. She's so far removed from reality. I think people are just basically enabling her by going into her room.
Who is Veronica? I missed this.
Veronica is the post genderization of Ronnie.
Oh, gross.
You've seen pictures, haven't you?
No.
That's gross. Oh, we've seen pictures.
It's just described as like the female version, like the gender bent version of Ronnie. That's disgusting.
Yeah, we've seen pictures. It's nasty. Yeah, Veronica is Ronnie. Odian says, I miss the days when Steve had black hair. Me too. Should I dye my hair? I asked my ex, and she said no. But it's so gray. I wonder if I dye my hair, what's the worst that can happen? It'll just fade out after a while. But is she hot? Do you guys want to show Odian a picture of Veronica? Go to the Great Community page. There's one posted last week of Veronica and jeans.
Is there does Veronica have her own page? I assume she does.
No, but we should probably start one for her. Oh no, she does. Bitchmade. You know, hashtag Bitchmade.
Ah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Tyler says, dye that shit bright purple. No. I would go black.
Chromosomes and time zones. Classic.
Chromosomes. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about dyeing it. How bad could it be? You know, I've always
try a different color.
Like what? Blonde?
Live it up, Steve. Go brown.
Brown would be okay. Brown wouldn't be too bad. I don't think I'd look good as a blonde. Wouldn't be that much different than the gray I have now. Should I?
No, brown is a good idea, but it should be like fake Barbie doll, like brown, like chocolate, like some chocolate in your hair.
Should I go chocolate?
Chocolate.
No, I think I'll dye it brown. I'll try that. It's not as dark. It looks a little more natural.
Is it a lot of work to dye your hair, Steve?
Yeah. Yeah, it is, because even with the semi-permanent dye, I can't touch anything, right? And I'm in somebody else's house, right? And so I don't want to get dye anywhere. So I've got to be very, very careful. I'll probably have to do it, I'll probably do it outside and then very carefully make it to the shower. So.
It's also like a shower cap that you don't care anything about. Throw that over it once you're done dyeing it.
I look good with dark hair. I mean, women are still attracted to me. I mean, I've had somebody flirting with me recently, but I'm just like, it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm still kind of just like weary of chicks.
G-Man had his icon updated on the Great Debate community.
Oh, that's our friend. That's not G-Man. That's G-Man has
obviously.
Yeah, no. I gave that G-Man a spanner because he's funny. So.
Don't dye your hair, man.
Oh, are you trying to convince me out of it now?
Do not dye your hair.
Why?
Because that's years of knowledge, and
I
you don't want to. Don't erase it all, man. Maybe it's because I have gray hair.
Do I look more wise with gray hair? Is that what it is?
You're very wise. You almost got the Einstein look down.
Yeah, but
just need to take the goatee off, but don't shave the goatee either. So
I'm not shaving. No, I'm not shaving the goatee. My mom hates the goatee, but she doesn't mind the hair, but she hates the goatee.
That's what moms do. They hate goatees.
I know. That's how I know it's cool.
Yeah, their little punum's gone. Their little punum.
I'm like, if it pisses off the mom, it's golden. You know?
All right. Okay, wait. I'm going to the den. I gotta.
Yeah, she's not thrilled with it.
Mute real quick.
Trading knowledge for chicks. Yeah, Odian. Well, I don't go out at all, but I mean, I got a reunion coming up and I don't know if I'm going to go to my 30th year or not. I really don't. I doubt it. I have no one to go with. Although I could probably find a hot chick to go with. I could probably ask my friend Gentana. She was supposed to go with me before, but things didn't happen. I've known her since like 4th grade. She's really hot.
So are we talking about high school reunion or what kind of reunion?
My 30-year high school reunion.
Well, you're not that old then. You're only like, what, 48?
47.
47.
Yeah, I graduated in 1987.
That's not too old to go out, Steve. You can still
graduated in 1947, you said?
1987.
Oh, I'm like, God damn, Steve.
God damn, you motherfucker, man. You look good for your age, but no wonder you're gray.
So have you got your first prescription of Cialis yet?
No, I don't use Cialis.
I'm fucking with you.
Hey, but hey, MP, so you decided to suck it up and go in there for whatever strange reason, I heard?
I felt bad, man. I told you I felt bad for the man. He was talking to the fucking void, man. He's just talking to the
You're
void.
too nice, MP.
Oh,
you're too nice for your own good.
The void, yeah, that's about the class.
He deserves this talk to the void.
I think so too.
Yeah, seriously.
So
did
he kick you out or did you leave? Or did he end the hangout?
No, I left. I left because the fact of the matter is that he just doesn't. He gets to the point where he has to accept. He accepts microevolution. I'm like, you accept it. You accept the fact that species change, that organisms change over time. You accept evolution. We say yes, we accept it. So I said, why can't you? If you just add time to those small changes, then it leads to big changes. Do you accept that? And he says no. Doesn't accept that. I'm like, how could you not accept that? It's it's the logical progression. Small changes equal to big changes.
Yeah, that's like saying kids don't turn into adults. No, after 12 years old, there's no living.
But it's kind of like saying, okay, well, I can add 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, but that never equates to multiplication. Well, yeah. I mean, it's accumulative. I mean, these mutational changes change.
I even used the example because he kept saying, well, we haven't, they've never shown a cell being a cell and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, listen, I said, it's the difference between, you've never seen anybody count out 1 trillion plus 1 trillion, right? That equals 2 trillion. Nobody's ever counted that up. They ever count thousands of years to count out. But we know that it's 2 trillion because we take that simple principle of 1 + 1 = 2 and move forward. It's simple. It makes sense. We're making an inference based on what we know. But I don't think he doesn't want to understand it. That's the problem.
Well, I think you did more harm than good there, MP, because now Darth Dawkins is in there.
Oh God.
Oh God.
So first he was talking to the void, and now he's been consumed by it.
Oh, and Darth got kicked out of MK's room the other day. So what is he now? He's now. I'm gonna go back to Veronica's room. Veronica, I need mods. Give me mods.
So
yeah, he's desperate now. He's desperate.
This morning, Darth Dawkins was in Discord, and no one was having it in Krillin's Discord server, and he was getting frustrated. So he said, "Is anyone willing to have an adult conversation?" I said, "Yeah, I am. Would you like more, boobies or butts?"
Ooh.
I'm impartial. I mean, I'll go both. I mean, I like women.
He wanted to have an adult conversation.
I like a nice ass. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's definitely adult conversation.
I like boobs big as butts.
I like big boobs, and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
Speaking of big butts, Isaiah, Mr. I Love Big Butts, gets out of boot camp in like 3 days. How awesome is that?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, he made it. What do you think he wouldn't?
No, I just forgot about.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you got to be a real.
I'm sure he's all pissed off he's not getting any action with Hovind, which, by the way, again, Veronica's trying to be like my channel now and trying to like reform her channel. Oh, I'm gonna get Hovine on. By the way, he's kind of busy for the next couple of weeks, but fine, get Hovine. It's, by the way, Veronica. It's for the billionth time. It's Kent Hovind. Why you?
He has to be right on. He has to have his own way of doing everything. His own definitions and everything.
It's scary and it's creepy.
It's weird.
That is creepy.
But he's now going, well, I'm going to have guests, blah, blah, blah. And that might be true. Fuck it, whatever. Get some guests. He's already killed his subscription base. I mean, he has 14 people watching. I got 16, and this is an alternate channel.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do something really special. He's gonna have to go way outside his bubble to pick up some people.
He's saying the same thing. He's sticking to the same script. You got to take something new. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, even Nephilim knew to stop. Nephilim knew to stop.
Convinced them that the solar eclipse isn't real.
We just had a phone quake. Sorry. The solar eclipse isn't real. Funny. Phone quake. They'll come back.
I do want to go see that.
Shit. What, the clips? Oh, yeah. I you can see it from California partial. But yeah,
I can see the full solar eclipse.
Right. And I couldn't even imagine how awesome that would be, though. Right. Just sitting there and it's all of a sudden daytime, it gets pure dark and just the stars come out.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
And everybody, if you're going to look at the eclipse, please get some good UV glasses. Every time one of these things happens, thousands of people go to the hospital with vision problems.
There are some Chinese knockoff UV blockers or whatever they're called. They're not sunglasses type.
You can't be like that.
There are brands that NASA recommends on their website. They're not expensive.
Yeah, you have to have 100% UV protection and 99.9999 something light protection.
What do you guys think about those sun gazers? Those people that gaze into the sun for 45 minutes. Have you heard about that?
I don't know how they don't keep from burning their retina.
They do burn their retina.
Yeah, and they do it at sunset too. And they make it sound like they're in the middle of the day or something.
I call them soon to be blind.
Soon to be blind. That's their name.
The bathroom one day.
And it doesn't take much.
Knocks on the door.
She could probably tell me this is true, and it is true. But this one's going to be a total eclipse, right? But there are what's called annular eclipses. And annular, the outside of the moon isn't large enough to completely block out the sun, so you still see part of the what's it called? The
sun?
No, but the outside of the sun.
Corona.
The corona. Well, yeah, but it's another word for corona, the actual sphere. Chronosphere? Yeah, chronosphere. And that is enough energy to leave a permanent damage. There's a lot of energy being deposited on your retina just from that ring. And especially right before, even at like a total eclipse, there's a part where the sun is still visible. And you don't realize how much energy you're getting from that small visible portion that's being deposited on your retina, correct, RC?
Right. It's not just the visible light spectrum. It's, wavelengths outside the visible light. So you don't necessarily detect them with your vision, but your retinas will still feel the consequences of that energy.
Because it's energy, yeah. And it may not be that bright, but like you said, there's wavelengths your visual sight isn't detecting, like the UV, that energy has to be deposited somewhere.
Well, these are the same people that use argon pyramids to cure cancer, so.
Oregon energy.
Oh, is that it? I thought it was argon gas.
No, it's Oregon. Yeah.
Oh, like organic?
No, it's some mythical.
Mythical gas of a gas of a unicorn's fart.
Jared Jared in the live feed actually said something that reminded me of something funny today. He said, "Are you sure that the sun's a sphere? How do you know that, Steve?" Well, it's funny. I actually had somebody on Facebook today, and this person did not understand that if something was 13 billion light years away, it takes 13 billion years to get to us. And she says, "Well, how do you know that?" And myself and somebody else put a formula up there. Distance equals c times time, which is basically distance equals speed times time. So basically, the speed is c. So if I want to figure out time, I take distance divided by the speed, or distance divided by c. That is a formula. And I said, as long as c is what we know it to be, this is the only way it can work out. It's mathematics. How do you know that?
Yes, I was going to say, but could you be wrong?
Time.
What's that?
How do you know distance equals velocity multiplied by time?
Hold on. Why didn't you just ask her if you're driving down the freeway at 60 miles an hour, how far do you go in an hour?
I said, look, if you're going 1 mile an hour, if you went 1 mile and it took you an hour, you're traveling at 1 mile an hour. Basic freaking math. How do you know that? You don't know that. You haven't been to those stars. You don't know how far away they are. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you people should not ever breed. Just don't.
You should have
Sounds like
asked.
science precept. No.
You should have asked her, how do you not know that?
Could you be wrong?
When you have to get that kind of epistemic nihilism to support your worldview and position, holy cow. Hey, Fiona found her way over to this channel. How did Fiona find her way over there? Oh, yeah, I sent her something. Hi, Fiona. Welcome to the new Great Debate community page. Oh, yeah, she was here the other day. That's right. She did pop by. Yeah, I think. But isn't that strange that people go, well, how do you know that? Because it's a freaking formula. It's an empirical relationship we know holds true. Because it's
Steve, I've talked to one of my first interactions with flat earthers, they tried to say that, they tried to undermine all of our presuppositions, including mathematics, by saying that in school they teach you that 1 + 1 = 2, but that's not true, because like a mother and a father, a mother and a father make a baby, and that's 3.
Yeah, you're conditioned to think that 1 + 1 = 2.
Oh yeah, 1 + 1 in binary isn't 2, so
yeah, it's Zionist propaganda. It's Zionist
1
propaganda.
+ 1 in binary is 1 0.
And like I said, a mother and a father make a baby, and that's 3. So apparently 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2.
Wow, all of math has now been destroyed.
Yep, there's alternative math, alternative news, alternative knowledge,
Alternative maths.
alternative math. It was about time.
Well, the flat Earth is alternative math. So is Veronica still going on? I looked in. All I see is Darwin's Deities, ugly little mug there of him, of Richard. That distorted thing of Richard Dawkins. Is that the only 2 people in there? You're sitting there literally with Darwin's Deity in there, just having a clusterfuck or something?
No, it's like a 2-person circle jerk. What do they call that? Line
Sex.
jerk. Line jerk.
No, they call it
XY axis. There you go.
That's tandem masturbation, guys. Come on.
There you go.
No, they call it a push-pull thing, but I can't remember the name of it. Like a seesaw.
That's good. Yep.
But it's nice that Darwin's decided to keep him company, or keep her company.
Who better?
Yeah, Veronica was getting lonely and talking to the void. So, question, guys: how do we get more people to sub to this channel? Because again, other people are going to be using this channel to have their hangouts.
Blackmail and threats.
For every third subscriber, a dick pic.
That's not a bad idea.
And
free punch and free pie. Oh, there
Cookies.
goes everyone again.
Did everybody phone quake? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why they don't have mods. I guess I should give them mods so they don't have to keep re-showing them. Let me pass out mods. Now remember, if you get mods, you've got to say, I have mods, I have mods, I have mods every 10 minutes.
I got them mods.
He has mods. So anyways, I'm going to put the link to the Great Debate Community in the live chat again. Oh, shit, I can't. What? Remove any web addresses and try again. What the hell you mean? If I could put links, you piece of shit. Really?
Steve, I got bad news for you. I don't know how to do them mod controls. You may want to pick somebody else.
I know. Well, that's okay. Everybody has mods. I can't link. I can't do mods. I can't put anything in live chat. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong fucking thing. I'm a fucking idiot. There we go. That was like the hell. Okay, so that's the link. So we only got about 60 some odd subscribers already on the Great Debate Community page. We should have far more than that. So if you're listening to this, go to the greatdebatecommunity.com and register. That's all you got to do. Subscribe. That way you get updates.
Wait, are you talking about subscribe on YouTube or subscribe at the Great Debate Community website?
The page, the website.
On the page. Okay. I have not done that yet.
Yeah. There you go. Great Debate, www.greatdebatecommunity.com. You just become a subscriber, and then when we have updates, you get all the notifications and you get all the different channels. You know.
It's an excellent setup, Steve. Thank you.
I want a place to have like a consolidation, right? I'm trying to build this community. I really am. I know a few people have been hesitant because they don't like change and they like the smallness. But most people have been, hey, you know, you're doing everything that Nadia didn't do. You're taking a lead and you're trying to make something that helps everybody.
Yeah, you're not falling asleep during every hangout. You know, like start the hangout and fall asleep.
What?
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. Hey, stop. Mod yourselves.
And I'm not as unintelligible as she was. But no, I mean, I want to build something, and I want the Great Debate Community to be a very well recognized name. We do have more name recognition than you realize. I mean, but it's just in this fledgling state, and either it's going to grow or it's just going to stagnate. I don't know which. I have a game plan, but that doesn't mean that game plan is going to come to fruition. But I'm going to try, and I think I've got a hell of a lot better chance than somebody like Veronica at making something known to people like the Great Debate Community and our individual channels and our individuals peoples as for example, if people know the Great Debate Community, I want them to go, yeah, man, you know that Seth from the Great Debate Community? Yeah, you know, that guy really knows his shit in philosophy. He's an asshole, but he really knows his shit. You know, that's kind of cool if people can get to know people from a community like that, right? By the way, Seth, you're not an asshole. Maybe he is. He's
says you.
Yeah. I thought he fell asleep, and I was like, I mean, but wouldn't that be okay? I mean, they say, hey, you know, that Sokka guy, that coherentist from the Great Debate Community, you know.
What?
Yeah, you guys are so
coherentists are fucking stupid.
Coherentists are fucking.
You know, it's funny. It's wait, who said that? Is that are we quoting somebody, or is that just a personal belief that you have?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh,
is that your belief, or do you know that?
I'm not a coherentist, but I mean, I don't think they're fucking stupid necessarily.
I had this conversation with you guys know Frank. Oh shoot, Frank
Dunleavy.
Dunleavy or something like that.
Dunleavy, yeah.
Nicest Catholic in the world, but
neurotic as fuck, but nice.
He was. We were talking about this last night, and we were talking about different epistemic frameworks, and he starts off with his very first premise is coherentism is wrong.
That's his first premise.
That's his first premise to proving to showing that coherentism. He has a logical argument to prove that coherentism is wrong. First premise: coherentism is wrong.
Premise 2, see premise 1. Premise 3.
Premise 2 is just the words LOL written over and over again.
Seems pretty legit to me.
Are you arguing something like that? I'm just joking. It was a good conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I'm fine with coherentism. I don't particularly. It doesn't work for me. I mean, it's fine. It's nothing against it. It's a perfectly fine epistemological framework.
No, it works for everyone. Just people just deny it. People try to, come up with these ideas, like these post-hoc ideas, saying that they're, I'm really a foundationalist. Like, no, you're not. You're a coherentist.
So you're saying that God had written coherentism on our hearts, and we're just denying the truth and unrighteousness?
No, I'm saying that everybody's a coherentist. They just don't know it. I mean, because coherentism is how we come to knowledge. That's simple, hands down.
Tyler says, the latest from Veronica, atheists just have faith. They've got nothing else going for them. That's retarded. That's then a special kind of stupid unto itself. We got to think of a better name for these kind of dumb statements. There's got to have something. I mean, there's just not a decent enough word in the English language to describe the level of stupidity. Is there something maybe in German or Swedish or something that we can use? You know, because I mean, there are things in other languages that just don't translate, right?
You're right. But I have a question. Is Veronica eligible for Dumb Fuck of the Year, or is she off the
already
list?
won. She already won.
She already won. Okay.
She won last year. Yeah. Once you win, you can't win again. But we are having the Ronnies this year in November. Now, I'm not changing the name to Veronica. It is the Ronnies, but obviously we'll note that it's now Veronica. But I do have a lot of awards to give out. I'm going to be like issuing awards to different people to like be presenters. I'm even thinking about asking Aaron if he wants to present one. If he has time.
It sounds classy.
We're going high tech, dude. High tech, baby.
And Steve, may I make a recommendation for the greatdebatecommunity.com? The registration button is very tiny. It's either at the bottom or at the very top.
They modeled that off
maybe like a really big one on there. Okay.
No, they modeled it off my penis, and so I can't make it bigger. No, I don't. The registration button is actually a form.
It's a micro button.
I don't think that's yeah, because that's hard coded by like the Visual Basic, whatever it's programmed into. But I will look into it. Okay.
That'd be helpful.
Sure.
Count up.
I know you like big things.
Yeah.
You only got to press it once. You know.
Find it though.
That's what she said.
A little difficult for some people.
This is ringing way too true.
You saw that one coming, right?
This is ringing real. Yeah. This is reality.
Yeah, we got some good categories for the Ronnies, though. That's gonna be fun. And then poor Veronica's just like, oh well, you know, these atheists over there have to like come up with these award ceremonies like Dumb Fuck of the Year because they're intimidated by my great and massive intellect and my arguments. No.
Every year they say they're going to make one, but I don't think they're intelligent enough or creative enough to do it.
What's that, Tony? Make an argument?
Yes,
no, make an award ceremony. I'll make an argument.
Okay.
Make an award ceremony.
Because I keep on hearing about this amazing argument that Ronnie has, and like one of these days, I really hope to hear it.
I know what it is. Yeah, I'll tell you. Ready? ATP synthase God. There you go.
Yes.
Well, I know that there's like it's like, hey, look at this. It looks designed, and if it looks like a duck, talks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And then when you try to apply the same logic to things like, I don't know, genetics or the fossil record, then it's just like no, it's not a duck.
It's a chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think he went to school with Nephilim, didn't he? Or Nephilim trained him. He's like his Padawan, I think.
They all kind of glean things off the old Nephi. And by the way, Fuzz Rana is having a question session on Monday. He's starting them up again, and he actually tagged me on it because he had actually made a post on the Urey Miller experiment, and I had commented on it. I'm like, what you wrote doesn't make sense, Fuzz. I was like, let me tell you what I think is going on, and he's just like, he thinks the textbook has gotten the Urey Miller all wrong. And I was like, well, what was wrong with the quote? I mean, he'd quoted something from a textbook. I'm like, I don't see what you're seeing in here. And he's just like, this doesn't disprove the God, created life from non-life. And this, you can't take the God element out of biogenesis. And
is he disputing the conclusion of the Urey Miller experiments? It said, therefore, no God is necessary.
He's concluding the results mean that a God is necessary.
Oh, okay. I mean, slightly different conclusion. I mean, but okay.
And I wasn't
cool.
getting where he was getting at. And I said, look, if the Urey Miller experiment was only to set out that you can get complex carbon compounds, right, from some kind of primordial atmosphere by putting energy into the system, that's what it succeeded to do. Now, granted, the mixture was off, but they've done two other times. They did one in 2008, I believe it was, and another one like a decade later that got a lot more amino acids. But the first one, all it was meant to do was say if these amino acids could be produced, and they produced like 6 of them. That's a success. So I don't see what the textbook got wrong when he's trying to argue the textbook got it wrong by saying that it got to include that God is required in order to have abiogenesis. And I'm like, well, so he tagged me on that. He's like, and one of the questions I'll be asking or answering is, what Steve brought up, and he tagged me on that, which I'm looking forward to hearing his answer. But
will it be comprehensible is the question.
Fuzz is a great guy, and he's really smart. I mean, he knows his shit. But I think that he allows his theological beliefs to cloud his scientific ones. And I hate to say that because he's such a nice guy. But I do see it. I think you all see it too, don't you?
Well, I think it comes down to you ever hear about the two separate opinions? Like there's the opinion that he has when he approaches science, when he's talking among a community of scientists, and then there's the way that he approaches science when he's talking to a community of believers. I don't think that what he's saying he's intended to be taken seriously. I mean, that's not the right way to put it. That this isn't the stuff that he's presenting to his peers to prove a point. But it's like Hugh Ross. Like Hugh Ross, I love Hugh Ross, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's a nice guy.
I really like his debates, but there's the stuff that he has that he approaches that towards science, and then there's the indications from his science that he uses with other believers to show how that confirms his faith. Now, I don't think he's going to mix those two together and start arguing from a professional level that therefore everybody ought to believe like him. But I think that he does a pretty good job of presenting his view in those two different atmospheres. And I have no problem with that.
I understand that.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I tweet back and forth with Hugh an awful lot. We do keep in touch. And he actually told me the other day, he's like, first of all, he's like, Steve, he's like, I wouldn't recommend anybody debating Hovind on a technical level. He's like, straight up, I kind of like, he said, he was like, Hovind doesn't have either the technical skills or the knowledge to debate on that level. And I was like, yeah, tried. I know. And then he told me that something about Humphreys. I mean, him and Humphreys don't get along, right? And I forget what he tweeted, but I know Humphreys found out that Hugh liked my channel, and Humphreys like, I don't think I want to come on if Hugh likes your channel, kind of thing. And I'm like, why? I was like, wait a minute. Hugh Ross comes on and defends his beliefs, right? We don't agree with him, but he gets a fair treatment, and he likes my channel. It's an open dialogue. Why would you not be willing to put forth your ideas? I don't get that. But he will take questions and answer them off air, which is better than nothing. But I'm still waiting for Jerry Bergman. Jerry's been messaging me every day. He's like, hey, Steve, let's figure this out so I can get into our hangout. And then he asked me to review a book of his, and I'm like, I've never read your book. I don't know I don't know. I haven't read it. And he knows I'd be reviewing as a layperson, right? But he seems like a fun guy. I don't know why, but Jerry comes across as just a likable guy. I could be completely wrong, but I mean, we'll see if I can get him in here. Do you know who he is, RC?
Yes, I've seen some of his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's way out there in left field on the creationist shit. Don't get me wrong, but
I mean, is it possible that you're ever going to have creationist versus creationist anytime on the Great Debate Community? Because
I've tried. Dude, I've tried. I actually asked Kent if he would be willing to have a debate on the side of Ken Hovind against two atheists. God, that'd be awesome, right? That would be fucking great. That he's like, well, I wouldn't want to think people think that I agree with Hugh on anything really. But I'm like, well, hang on. You guys both believe there's a God. You do agree upon something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a foundational level of agreement they have, whether he wants to recognize that or not.
Yeah. But a creation. Well, how about this, RSC? How about we pit Mr. Intelligent Design against Ken Hovind? How long do you think that conversation would last?
It would never end.
I think Kent would leave. I really do.
No, I think Kent would poke his little stick the way he normally does with his power slides, and if you're not following what my slide says, therefore you're wrong, and then move on.
Well, they both agree. They're both young Earth creationists, but he'd be like, Edgar would be like, you don't know what the intelligence is, Kent. Your model is wrong because you don't know what the intelligence is.
Are you trying to run Kent off?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do these things with Kent. I know they want to start doing back on their channel, and I get that. So I'm going to milk it for all it's worth, obviously. But
if you wanted to run Kent Hovind off, you would invite his son, Eric Hovind, to debate him. That would run him off.
Oh, I could. Well, I have invited Eric back. Eric is posted to actually have a conversation with Apologia. Eric's been on my channel before. Tyler says Duncan Darth Donut is trying to bait an atheist into the room. Oh, good luck with that. Yeah.
I don't think donuts are the official atheist sweet, so he might want to change up his strategy.
Hey, Tyler, go in there, man. You're an atheist. Let me see what they're saying here. How do I can't play this through here, can I?
Can you share screen and put your mic up to the speaker?
Can't hear it. No, I'm using my headphones.
Is anyone else excited about seeing how far this flat Earth steam rocket's going to go up?
No.
No, because they're going to get the measurements wrong.
It's going to go a mile, I bet. If
they're going to confuse metric with standard, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I can't wait to see that banner on the side get just burnt up or something.
So I guess Dawkins is basically saying everybody is a troll and stalker, and he doesn't play by everybody else's rules. Ergo, everybody's scared of Darth Dawkins.
Yes. The older they get, the more they start sounding like Vaughn. Have you noticed that? Like G-Man's even starting to sound like Vaughn. Like it's kind of like a conspiracy theory. Everyone's against him.
Hey, go over there and say, hey, look at Darth Dawkins. There's at least 3 atheists in the Great Debate Community page. They'll be happy to have a conversation with you. He won't come in. You know he won't. And I guarantee he won't. But if he wants atheists, here they are. Hey, Seth, you're an atheist, right? Yes, he is.
I was in the room with Dee once, and then he kicked me out because I didn't have enough subscribers.
But I don't get it. He'll go to Discord, right? That's a lion's den. Why doesn't Darwin's ever go to our room? I don't know.
Because he won't get mods, Steve. You won't give him mods.
He doesn't get mods in Discord.
You're right.
So I don't know what brings him over there.
Discord is, sometimes Krillism does record the chat, but on the most part, he can forget. He can forget. People will forget about how he gets torn apart in those rooms.
Oh, he does get torn apart. So what do they say now? Go ahead and talk. I'm listening to their.
We're trying to listen too.
Oh, you can hear it?
Yeah.
How do you hear it through you guys can hear it through my speakers?
Well, not legibly. Just.
Oh, okay, hang on. Does that help?
A little bit.
Well, I just got a message from somebody. David Snow left a comment on a video, and he basically was calling anybody out. I'll take any of you right now. And I told him, sure, I can have a hangout set up within 45 minutes. And he said he's refusing to have a discussion with me now. You see, it's this mighty talk, this big talk that I see from these guys. It's when you don't have any evidence for your position.
Okay. What Veronica doesn't understand is that nobody wants to have a discussion in his room.
Yeah, it's just his room. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Nobody will fucking have a discussion with him in his room.
It would be kind of nice to be that delusional, though. Would it be? It'd kind of be like having, I guess, I don't know, forgetting everything, or I don't know. It'd be like having Alzheimer's or something, where you just wouldn't give a shit anymore because everything's just the way you see it. I don't know. It's a weird way to live.
It is strange. And Dave S.
Delusional disorder.
Yeah, or it's like a megalomania or something like that, where he's just like everything he says is right, and no one else is wrong.
Is DK listed as in the DSM? Is that a mental disorder? Or is that just something that people have noted?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Is Dunning-Kruger actually listed in the DSM? It's not really a mental disorder. It's just basically
mental disorders.
It's what?
It's a finding and study.
Finding of a study. Yeah. But you got to admit, he is the definitive example of what somebody who suffers from DK, who has no experience but has the highest amount of confidence.
Yes.
You can't get higher than him.
I mean, basically, when Dunning-Kruger does become part of the DSM 6 or 7, there just needs to be a picture of Veronica there next to it, so we understand what they're talking about.
I think it would be a perfect representation. Somebody did that with Wikipedia. They actually put Veronica's face there. But I mean, Veronica's new thing now is talking about neurology. Now, I've never looked into neurology. I don't have anything more than a high school level understanding of neurons and dendrites and sodium. I remember there's like sodium and potassium and gates and potentials, whatever. But I mean, that's it, right? But he's read something on it recently, and now he thinks he's just an absolute expert on how the brain and nerves work. Seriously.
Well, damn, we need to get him in the lab then and start running some tests.
I mean, he could have been your instructor one day.
I know.
Have you listened to him to Jargon Bomb on that yet?
Not on neurology. I've only heard him talk about the ATP synthase and then the DNA bonds breaking and all those classic, basically memes now. I've heard him talk about those ad nauseum, but not about neurology.
Well, today he just talked about beta clamps, which again, I don't know what that has to do with us. Gyrays, again, what the hell does it do with us?
What's that complexity argument he has? The simplistic complexity, or what is it?
Specified
specific complexity.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Is that how he says it?
Yeah, that's it.
Sequential specified information.
That's it.
Leading to overall function. Yeah.
Okay.
But what is everything he's talked about is like he's read a book on E. coli and he just applies it equally to humans, right? I mean, he talks about ATP synthase and he says, "Oh, well, the C ring has 10 to 14 different subunits, not in humans, not in us." So, what are you arguing for? That God created the ATP synthase in E. coli?
He's a human Xerox machine. Whatever he sees, he just speaks it out.
But he doesn't know the details of it. Let me get the link, JD. That's where you just know somebody's completely full of shit. They don't recognize the detail difference, right? They don't have the prerequisite knowledge to distinguish between certain things.
Yeah, like that TAAG thing you were saying earlier. Like that, like
the telomeric repeats.
Like he would know that if you knew what we was talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But
if he was an expert in genetics, he would know what a goddamn telomeric repeat was for humans, and not say that something like TAAG is a telomeric repeat. And even TAAG-GG technically is not a telomeric repeat. It's just the hexamer for a telomeric repeat. To be able to repeat, you need more than one. But JD Kane.
Hey, Steven. How are you?
Hey, what shit show are you going to have this Tuesday? You going to give us a heads up?
It seems it's going to be about this. I just joined Ronnie's Hangout. He was literally, moments before I joined, both he and he's now letting Dee Dee control the Hangout, which is cute, declared that everyone's a coward for not coming in there. Like, they would do bad, they won't come in. So I come in and am immediately booted for being on Dee Dee's troll list.
That's awesome.
It's like, okay, I got other things to do. I'll go to Steve's Hangout, where Steve has quite a few more viewers and more interesting conversations. But I'm not sure what you're talking about right now. It looks like Ronnie's going back to.
Oh wait! You're on my troll list too, so I'm gonna eject you.
Yeah, no.
I only hit him for broadcast people. I didn't have to.
Let me guess. He
Good
said,
one.
"JD,
Oh,
are
you
you
fucker.
crazy? Is there something wrong with you? You know I'm on your troll. You're on my troll list. I will not talk to you."
I just want to say that JD Kane is on my troll list too. But the good thing about my troll list is that it just means to get free drinks.
Yeah.
Like,
Scotch all around. So I don't. Okay, if somebody explain this to me. RSC, please explain this to me. Again, I don't want your medical judgment because you're not acting right now as a medical practitioner. But for somebody who has a little insight, what is it called for a person that would say something like, "I want people to come in to talk to me. I want atheists to come in. I want to engage," and then when one appears, "Oh, you're on my troll list. Get out."
Like it was
That sounds
instant.
like-
I mean, Dee is very quick.
Is that passive aggressive or something? No, it's not passive aggressive. What is it?
Although
It's
honestly,
avoidant personality.
I think
Avoidance personality. Okay, that's good.
I think Ronnie was
Avoidant personality
a little annoyed at it, but he couldn't say it. I think Ronnie was a little annoyed that he booed me so fast. Like, oh hey, it's JD. He's like, oh, he's on my troll list. And then Ronnie was like quiet for a bit, like trying to come up with a way to make it sound like, oh, well, okay, yeah, he's a known troll, I guess. So anyway, and I was like, yeah, Steve, how can you talk about evolution without a paradigm, without your worldview? That's what they're talking about right now. It's hilarious. Well, I'm sorry, they're talking. Dee Dee's talking. Ronnie is literally not even responding to Dee Dee's questions. He's just like,
he's probably sulking.
I have no idea. Yeah. You just fill in the blanks for me.
Yeah, you can't have any views unless you have a worldview.
You know what you should do? Hey Seth, are you on their troll list? Seth, are you on Dee Dee's troll list? Or how about you, Sokka? Are you on his troll list?
I don't know. Remember the last time I went in there, he did kick me out because I was a coherentist.
You know what you should do? You know what you should do then? You should drop in and say, hey, Ronnie, I've been. Hang on. You should say, I was listening to your feed, and I really want to talk to you about evolution. I just noticed Dee Dee's in here, and I'm on his troll list, so I'll just eject myself and leave. That's what you should do. Seriously, that'd be awesome. Ronnie would be Veronica would be so pissed.
I mean, the conversation's so typical of Dee Dee. Like, yes, we like to talk about evolution, but first, let's talk about the laws of logic. How about we fucking don't?
Oh my God.
Well, in order to understand evolution, that begins with the paradigm of the uniformity of nature, and therefore, in order to account for the uniformity of nature, you have to have some type of epistemic justification for the uniformity of nature. And if you don't have epistemic justification for the uniformity of nature, then you can't talk about evolution. So therefore, I'm sorry, what are we talking about again?
Why are they having a hangout again? Oh, by the way, Sokka, I do like the brilliant cherry on top that you put in that hangout the other day. And by the way, that guy was a troll. He actually was trolling afterwards. Now he's a flat earther, pretending to be a flat earther. Yeah, he's just a nutter. But that was so hilarious that you had basically argued him in a corner and said, okay, then basically, fuck you. So, okay, then you have no argument. Fuck off.
Yeah, that was good. What was his name again? I forgot. He was trolling.
Predestinational bishop or something?
Yeah, something like that. Definitely destination.
But can you imagine if somebody went in there and said, hey, okay, Ronnie, I really want to talk to you about evolution. Oh, shit, I just noticed Darwin's is here, so I'm going to stroll this, so I'll eject myself and just leave. Yeah, whatever. Let's see what they're saying.
That's a good idea.
Well, I mean, I go over there and I'd say that DD's actually on my troll list. So if he wants to talk, then he'll have to remove DD. Because I don't want to. Well, then he doesn't get to have a conversation with me. Yeah, I mean, and I know how much he wants. There's nothing better than talking evolution with somebody who's never studied evolution. But even with my basic high school knowledge of biology, because I never took anything post-secondary for it, I'm pretty sure I can still show that his arguments are shit.
Did you notice he turned his likes and dislikes off?
Yeah, I never understood that. At least even G-Man keeps his up, so because he can always point to it and be like, "Yeah, you see, guys, this is how good of a job I'm doing. Atheists hate me."
Yeah, use it to your advantage, right?
It must really bother him. That's what it is. Like, it obviously really bothers him, and I don't understand why he keeps doing it.
Fiona says that's why Didi hates talking to me. His shtick about you can't know anything without a Christian God doesn't work talking to a Christian. Yeah, fair point. We gotta see if we can get some more people over here. Just out of curiosity. I don't know where else to send the link. I mean, we're already getting more watching than Veronica, but so JD, that's really going to be your show. What's that? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, let's ask JD what he wanted to discuss with Veronica.
And that's really going to be your thing on Tuesday? Is that,
well, I mean, let's see. We got this tonight, which is just hilarious. G-Man, again, giving biology a shot.
To PZ. He showed PZ a thing or two, right?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have my other issues with PZ about, more political type stuff.
I agree. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, all let's do with Shermer, but that's old news, really. I don't care.
Yeah.
Obviously, as far as biology, he knows his stuff. And just G-Man even attempting to get anywhere with it, it's like, oh, just stop.
Well, has G-Man at least gotten the names right? He's not calling PZ by Landon's name or anything like that?
No, he calls him PZ Myers. No, he calls him PZ Meyer. He forgets the S.
Meyer. All right. Yeah. Baby steps.
True. PZ had actually tweeted to me. He's like, well, I can see how his confusion is. After all, Landon and I both have the same number of chromosomes. That's why G-Man got confused, because PZ Myers and Landon Curtin all have the same amount of chromosomes. I thought that was funny. No? Really? Nothing? Wow. You guys are tough today.
Wow.
I thought that was funny.
You know what, Steve? I'm cooking right now, so I don't have the capability to do the unmute and the courtesy laugh.
I want a courtesy laugh.
Eject him from the room. Just eject him from the room.
Ejections all around.
I have mods.
But just remember, if you disagree with me, you automatically get booted from the Great Debate community, as per Alexia. Just the other day, Jade had sent a message to me saying Alexia Wolf wants to know if I'm ever going to let her back in the Great Debate community and admit that she was right. And I was like, fuck no. And
what was she right about?
Fuck if I know. But Hogtie had went to go look at what I guess she gave as evidence, and he said straight up, he goes, that is the most dishonest shit in the world. That is obviously not why Steve booted you. You did not prove him wrong on anything. You clearly were being an asshole, and I'm not the only one that I don't know if he a she or he. I don't. Isn't he a transsexual? I mean, doesn't he go by she? And I'm being serious. I think it is. But Renee had to block her. I've had to block her, and somebody else had to block her. And it's like, wait a minute here. This is obviously a pattern. I did not kick her out because she proved me wrong in something. Holy shit, if that was the case, none of you motherfuckers would be in the Great Debate community, because I've been proved wrong a lot. So that's just retarded. And Hogtie jumped on her just saying, dude, that's the most dishonest piece of shit ever, because that is not what happened, clearly. And because he read what happened. So anyways, sorry. Go ahead. I'm ranting.
What channel is he on right now? I went over there. I couldn't. I don't see it.
He's on his True Empiricism channel.
For some reason, it's not opening up for me. My YouTube's messing up for me today. Yeah. I was going to.
That's the link.
Oh,
I don't recognize it. And then I don't get. Explain to me this. Riddle me this, people. He just got his channel back, and he puts a link out again. Now, I take precautions, right? But he doesn't. He just doesn't know how to run a Hangout, I guess. And he puts the link in the video description. That's just stupid.
Well, stupid as stupid does.
Insanity. is.
Yeah, I think he's actually fishing for problems, actually, because then it gives him more shit to complain about and
You mean
blame
relishing
us.
the persecution porn?
Yep. Then he can
Persecution
say
porn.
it's
Does Veronica
atheist.
have a Patreon or
No.
you're out yet?
I think she just monetized, but she can't get that much monetization. She doesn't have the traffic. I mean, her views went to shit. I mean, people are just not watching it anymore. The retention time is just nothing. But the fact she doesn't even show her subscribers is telling, right?
Well, how accurate are those websites that tell you subscriber counts?
Pretty
Like, Social Blade and stuff?
Yeah, they're pretty accurate. Yeah,
Pretty
they're pretty
accurate.
accurate. I mean, unless people do sub for sub. I don't like the sub for sub. I think that artificially inflates, and it doesn't really make sense to do so, because now you have high numbers, but when they look at your view counts, they're low, and it gives you a shitty ratio. So I don't want to do sub for sub. But there are people that do get a lot of subs by doing sub for sub. But then you end up like G-Man, 9,000 freaking subs, 20 people watching.
I mean, I tell you, like when I ran the when I was doing Deeper Than Dogma, my philosophy or approach to the show was always like, I want to have the conversations that I want to have, and if people tune in and they like them, awesome. If not, great. And on average, I got anywhere between 500 to 1,000 people that watched it, and I was ecstatic with that. You know, like even if I only had, I don't even remember how many subs I had. I think maybe I got up to 500 subs. I can't remember. But like when you get to 500 subs and you have like 500 people watching your video, it's just like, okay, well, these are the people that like it. This is good. And I was happy with that. Like, I don't know. I didn't really care much about growing it beyond that.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I mean, I thought I was going to plateau at about 2K, but I've already exceeded that. Well, I had expectations, and granted, most of it was due to King Crocoduck and Hovind. I admit that, but now I think Casey's going to make a shout out video on Monday. I figure even if I got 200 to 300 more subscribers off that shout out, that would be pretty good. It could be more, it could be less. I mean, if you have 55,000 people watching, it's 40,000 hits. If even, 0.1% came over, that's still, what, 40 views, 40 subs, something like that.
I mean, it's a difference in the channel too. Like, I think that keeping like more of the like the cool organized discussions on the other channels is a good idea. Keeping the shit talking somewhere else, like, awesome, go for it.
We again, there might be a distinction. If this channel gets larger, we might keep the shit talking over here, and then the main events on the other channel. And the only reason for that is because the other channel has the subs. Now, in theory, this channel should have all the subs, right? And then mine have be the shit talking, but it didn't start off that way, so there's no really way to change that now.
Because did you just rename the channels? Remember, Amazing Atheist did that. His channel's TJ Kirk now.
You could, but yeah, I kind of see where you're going with that. Remain my main channel, the Great Bait Community, and then change this one to Steve McCrae. But then my main channel has lesser. I don't know.
Or do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do, man. You're not the boss of me, Daddy.
I like when you call me Big Papa.
I know you do. You sweetie. And this is why people think I'm gay. Go figure. Oh, so the Atheist Experience countered is over. Sorry, guys. Just noticed.
So what happened? I heard that Ronnie was trolling the Atheist Experience chat.
I do not know. Did he? Was this today?
That's what I heard. Somebody was saying that Ronnie was trolling the Atheist Experience chat, putting like a Skype number out there, trying to get people to call him or something. Is that true?
No idea.
Confirm or deny? Anybody?
No idea.
Can't confirm, but I know he was on the show last week, and they got rid of him pretty quickly.
I explained this to him, like in the external chat on my other account last week. It's just like, like this is a show for theological discussion. It's kind of like asking the atheist, whatever, and they might ask you a question as well, like back and forth. But at the end of the day, it's a theological discussion. And if you want to present a different scientific model for the for the versions of life that we see, that's fine. Tie it back to your theological views, because that's what they want to talk about. And they'll talk about the theological views, not necessarily maybe the scientific, what you think is scientific information behind it. But they do bring this up every once in a while. Like, people will call in and they'll say, science, therefore, supreme God in the sky, whatever. But Ron didn't want to do that. He just wanted to say evolution is wrong. And, well, what's their interest in that? Evolution. So
they've told him that many times.
Many times.
It's not a hard concept.
Yeah, this show is not about biology. This show is about atheism and theological arguments.
And they tried to steer it towards theological arguments a couple of times, and every single time that they did, he would say, "I don't want to talk about that," and so they was like, "Okay, well, we don't want to talk to you."
Yeah. He tries to control the pace of the show. He tries to bully them like he does in his own room, right? And then what he like Tyler Durden points out, he's trying to convince people, go watch his channel instead of the Atheist Experience. We have a fair platform kind of shit. Same thing that Rational Theist is trying to do, right? The Atheist Experience, which, by the way, he got like 3 viewers last episode.
And you can tell that they're not going well because he keeps taking them down.
Oh, Matt does, or Ronnie? Or Veronica?
Matt, yeah, look for some of his Theist Experience shows. Yeah, they don't stay up long.
Well, you realise why Ronnie doesn't take it to any sort of theistic argument, because he can't join the dots. We've been saying this for ages. I mean, look at his discussion with the negation of P. Negation of P granted him everything he was saying, and then said, "Now, how does that get to your God?" And Ronnie couldn't do it.
Maybe he didn't play connect the dots when he was a kid. Maybe he didn't understand the concepts.
He's never made it that far in the other previous conversation, so he didn't know where to go.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, that's not even a joke. That's exactly it. Yeah,
that is exactly true. That's sad, but that is actually true.
Yeah, and that is why he doesn't want to get involved in atheist, theist discussion, because the argument that he is making doesn't get him to his God, because he hasn't tried to do that yet. He wants to stay away from saying that he's a creationist. He's an ideist, a sea design proponentist. So, I mean, I think Negations asked him to join up the dots. Hogtie's asked him to join up the dots. Loads of people. JD's asked him to join up the dots. And he's never done that. He's never taken his argument and then made his theistic argument. And this is why he'll avoid it like the plague.
One correction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one correction to that is that no one's ever done that for Ronnie. So that's why he doesn't have anything to connect the dots. He relies on someone else to do all his research and basically argument development for him. He just copies and tries to paste it, but
that's not a bad
jumbles
point,
up the terms.
Because I mean, all of us have at least formulated our own arguments at some point, whether they make sense or they don't, or they're right or wrong. We've at least tried to articulate an argument of some kind, right? I just put one on the Great Debate the other day, right? Steve's equivalency argument, right? And actually, the doctor read it. He was like, "That's actually a pretty good argument." We've all tried to, whether we succeed or not, who knows? I don't think he even knows what it's like to put forth an original argument.
Yeah. I mean, even if you could just describe to us why his argument convinces him. So, I'm not even saying that he could put forward a good case. Just tell us, what is it about his argument that convinces him that the Christian God is real?
Oh, he has. It's the duck argument. It's
he only goes to designer with that.
No. The Christian God is a duck. That's what I gathered from it.
Oh, right. I see what you mean. But I mean, that's the thing. He can't even give us how he uses it for himself, let alone give a good argument that may persuade someone else.
And the other thing is, for a guy that complains about drama and all the drama all the time, and again, I pointed this out in the external chat of the other video there, is that people don't even know what your position is. I don't know if he's a young Earth creationist. I don't know if he believes in some type of theistic evolution. I don't know, even things on like Christian doctrine. I don't even know what his positions are on those things, or those issues, because for a guy that's part of the Christian community, he doesn't make any videos about Christianity, and he said no, I do, because he did the whole thing about Leviticus the other day, but that video is gone. He's hidden it, or he's erased it. It says it's not there. And if you go through his channel, the last time that he did a discussion on any type of theological matter was over 8 months ago. You take a look at his channel, it's just like response to Dragon Sam, Steve's a liar, Dragon Sam at it again, Steve's a liar, bring it, evolutionist.
Drag's a liar too, come on, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, Drake's a liar. Like this is the content of his channel. If Drake and Steve and Sam were to disappear off the internet tomorrow, he would have nothing to talk about.
Well, apart from ATP mayonnaise. But you see, he doesn't want to get into the religious argument. But you look at the titles of his videos, and it's about atheists and evolutionists. There's usually atheist, singular, in there somewhere. He has the same trouble with plurals that G-Man has. So, for
in
him
all
to
fairness,
say
plural is hard.
Yeah, it is.
Plurality is hard.
But for him to say he doesn't want to get into the theology, then why does he even bother putting anything about atheist in the title? He seems to want to have his cake and eat it.
He just has a hard-on against atheists. I mean, it's the same thing like with deflating atheist. He'll argue the dumbest things. He just picks something about atheist that he doesn't like, which is completely irrelevant to them being atheist, and then runs with it. Yeah. I've never seen him give an argument against atheism itself, except for, oh, well, they're just stupid. They don't see what's in front of them. That's not an argument.
No. But I mean, to be honest, that when you boil down Ronnie's arguments, that's where he ends up. It's just a case of you're wrong because you're an atheist, or you're wrong because you're an evolutionist. Because I don't think he's yet managed to separate in his head an acceptance of evolution and faith. And he doesn't understand that one isn't dependent on the other. You don't need to reject evolution. And he may say that, oh, well, he understands that, but I don't think he does.
I don't either.
I mean, one of the things that baffles me is that both him and G-Man had decided that I am more of a deist, he said. And the reason, the reason was because I said, the way it all unfolded was God put the basic laws of physics in place, let the blue touch paper, and stood well back. So they think that I'm arguing for a God that doesn't intervene in man's affairs. But here's the thing. I didn't say anything about that. I was only talking about how everything came to be. That doesn't say anything about God not interacting spiritually with people. I didn't bring that up, but they think that this description of God lighting the blue touch paper and standing well back somehow makes me more of a deist, because they've never bothered to pay attention to any of the answers I've ever given to their questions. How can they say I'm a deist and that I believe in a completely non-interventionist God when I accept Christ? Wouldn't that be God intervening a bit? Or am I just being desperately dense here?
No, they don't get that far. And I don't even know how to respond to that, because it's like, how does he think that? But I think it boils down to is he doesn't listen to what you're saying. He'd rather tell you what you believe than you tell him.
Yeah, and I think that is a big problem, because he's got it's like monochromatic thought processes. It's either black or it's white. And I don't think either of them have grasped that there are shades of grey and there are other colours as well.
Steve, sorry to interrupt. Steve,
are you triggered?
Sam is on my troll list.
I know.
He's on my troll list. If you don't boot him, if you don't remove him, I'm gone. I'm okay. That's it. I'm gone. Just kidding.
The whole program will be destroyed. The end of the earth.
I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later.
Peace, brother.
Take it easy.
What did I just walk into?
Yeah, Fiona, you weren't quite finished.
Sorry?
It was a DD impression.
Fiona, you hadn't finished yet, had you?
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
He said you haven't finished yet. Did you, Fiona?
Well, no, I think Soccer was right. I mean, it's that they don't listen. They will ask a question, but they won't listen to the answer that you give. Because what they're hoping with the question is that it's a gotcha question that you can answer. So as soon as you start to answer it, they'll lose interest. They're not interested in the answer that you are going to give. They're just desperately trying to get to a question that you can answer.
Yep.
That's all it is. So answers are irrelevant. And, I mean, everybody knows, I mean, most people, when they ask a question that's got a bit of an ulterior motive, people will just say, I'm just curious. But there's somebody that does that so often that it's such a dead giveaway, and that is G-Man. You know he is asking the question because he thinks it's a gotcha.
Yeah, and he won't at all listen to any answers.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what you say. You could recite the Constitution or something, and he wouldn't be paying attention.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? I'm sorry.
Well,
try it one time.
The other thing I was going to say was that I get into a bit of a discussion with Fixies, his Uncle Sam account in a live chat. And I brought up two things with him. And he told me I was wrong. And then I gave him the source. And the source were Christ's words from Luke. And he called it heresy. How is Luke heretical? Can anybody enlighten me?
Well, I think Thicky just likes to troll a bit.
If you're not repeating Luke how he wants it, it's trolling. It's heretical.
Or it contradicts the gospel according to G-Man.
Well, this was Uncle Sam, who I haven't seen around for ages, mainly because I just blocked him. Because he was spamming my YouTube channel. Heavily spamming it.
You do seem to pick up your fair share of spammers.
He lurks. He's been around. He's dropped by my channel a few times over the ages.
Well, I've got no time for him. But that struck me as quite interesting. That he leapt into what I'd said to say that it was completely wrong and all the rest of it. And when I gave him the passages in question, he stuck to his guns and called it heretical. That surprised me.
I mean, I think that really sounds like the reaction of a person who can't handle information that's their own internal beliefs. That's an instant reaction from someone who's incapable of doing that. It's really what it sounds like. You just outright deny it.
But it's quite scary because these people say that they are on here to spread the gospel message. And the only thing that I'm seeing getting spread is hatred for those that don't believe as they do. And they excuse themselves by saying, but I'm saying this in love. When you say something that's nasty or vicious or hateful, saying that, oh, well, I'm only saying it in love is nonsense.
Yeah, I usually ask him to tell me how that love matches up with the description of love in 1 Corinthians 13. And usually I've just, met with a lot of open mouths and tongue wagging, soundless words.
Yeah.
Or sorry, wordless sounds.
I've yet to find anywhere where Jesus tells us that we have to shout and rant at people or insult them and call them names to spread the gospel. I've never come across that. But that's what I see. All these calling out videos, or I humbled so and so, and the very title of the video is prideful. I humbled Peasy, that sort of thing. And it's do as I say and not as I do. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've got my fair share of faults. I've made call-out videos to people. And I've called names as well. But I don't try and make a virtue of it. I don't say that this is a great thing. I don't say that this is me spreading the message of Christ. I admit that I'm wrong to do it. And
well, you're coming from a place of honesty, and that's lacking from other people.
I mean, I try, but you see, the idea that we have, that we get all the time, and we used to hear a lot of this about Fiona never preaches and all the rest of it. And preaching the gospel means spreading the gospel to those that haven't heard it. Now, 2,000 years ago, or thereabouts, it had to be spread by word of mouth, or the odd letter, etc. But we didn't have telephones and internet and all the rest of it, so it had to be spread actively by people telling other people. And in this day and age, there are very few people who haven't heard the gospel message. Now, they may not have accepted it, but they have heard it. So just telling them it again does nothing. They didn't accept it the first time round. Why would they accept it the second time round when all you do is tell them it? How about you explain it? If they have questions, answer their questions. Don't say they're stupid for answering the question, asking the questions, just to answer them. Because I think that goes further to help people understand where you're coming from. I don't go out to convert people. I just want people to understand where I'm coming from. If that makes a difference for them, whether it's they realise that maybe not all Christians are radical evangelical fundamentalists, then that can only be good. That Christians are people that can be spoken to in a normal manner, without having this huge, big performance of a fight. where I'm calling you out and holding up your bloody mock wrestling belts? Or am I just expecting too much from this planet?
Well, to a degree, I'd have to say I think you are expecting a little too much of humanity at its current state, because the widespread tribalism that is affecting every corner of this planet. The answer to that is what you're doing, is what you're saying, is that humanize each other. Let them know what position you're coming from, what your point of view is on the topics that they don't necessarily agree with you on, but make it to a way where they can understand, relate, and empathize. And then it becomes much more difficult to, cut people out of healthcare, ban transsexuals from using the bathroom, and all these other problems we're having, that it's just a lack of insight and empathy.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed about you, Phil, you get so much flack from the other quote unquote Christians. This one group, I mean, not all other Christians, but from this specific group, you get so much flack from them, and they make all kind of accusations about you. And she never shares the gospel with all these heathen atheists. Well, look what you're doing right now. You're talking from your experience. You're not beating us over the head. And anytime we have questions about maybe, your beliefs or whatever, we can ask you, and it's not a big knockdown drag out, because you explain where you're coming from. Yeah, I think that's so cool, and it seems like there's a lot of these other Christians that could learn from that. You don't have to be beating someone over the head with the Bible all the time.
Yeah.
What you're.
Well, I was going to say, one of the things that always bothers me is that I'll tell people what my personal beliefs are. But in the back of my mind, I will always have that little voice saying, but you could be wrong. And that's why I emphasize that it's my personal belief. I don't claim to know, because I don't want to lead somebody up the garden path. You imagine if I go out there and I start to preach, this is what you must believe, this is how you must behave, and I'm wrong about that. Where does that put anybody that listens to me? I'm not a preacher. It's not a gift I was given. I don't know enough to be able to preach. But I can explain my own point of view and emphasize that it's my own point of view and my own opinions. And also state that, hey, I might be wrong. Because I have no way of knowing. I'll find that out later.
You brought up one time that you had talked to R. And you just, and maybe you could tell about that a little bit, because I'll say it wrong. There's something like you told him what you believe and why, but y'all had a good conversation from what I understand. And so you can tell it a whole lot better than I can.
Yeah, it was myself, DPR, and Aaron. I wanted to speak to Aaron about something. DPR put us in touch, and we were just talking, and I just said, this is what I believe, and I admit I could be wrong, and I'm not interested in ramming my faith down somebody else's throat, and I'm not interested in getting any of my religious beliefs taught to kids in a science class, because my beliefs are personal to me. And I mean, Aaron and I had absolutely no problem with that. I mean, you may think that I'm wrong for holding those beliefs, but he doesn't have a problem with me holding them. There's nothing that he would need to fight against, because I am not trying to ram it down anybody else's throat. That's where the problem comes. When you start to try and tell others, you have to believe the way I believe, and I'm going to make you. And I'm going to put my beliefs written in stone in the foyer of your building. And you will pray to my God at the start of every day or at the start of every meeting. That's where the problems come, when you try and impose it on others. It's like love. You can't force someone to love you. And if anybody here has ever tried that, you'll know it doesn't work. You can't make someone love you. Just like you cannot make someone believe in God unless you give them a good enough reason. And just telling them that they have to isn't going to work.
Yeah, I had to learn that lesson the hard way, because I used to be a straight up tool way back in the day. And I think JD can kind of attest to that. But after a while, I learned you're going to catch a lot more flies with honey. And there's no reason to polarize the discussion, because, I mean, we're all human beings, right? Like there's a person with opinions, thoughts, hopes, wants, and dreams on the other side of that keyboard, on the other side of that microphone. And, like, they put their pants on one leg at a time like the rest of us. So there's no reason to be antagonistic or even, treat them like another.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving as good as you got. However, it's always good not to start the shit talk. Let them be the first to say something ridiculously mean or stupid before you start going off. Unless people just, like, the minute they're like, "Oh, you're a theist? Oh, well, Jesus, zombie raising, blah, blah, something. I mean, it's just complete dicks immediately. There's no point to that."
Yeah.
You can talk shit on Tuesdays, though.
Even on Tuesday, we'll keep it down for a bit unless someone's being, like, Nathaniel was on this last week, and he's still quite frustrating in text. Like, it's like, "Oh, well, I have videos of Noah's Ark from 80s and 90s video, and I'm sure it's all true." Like, dealing with that is frustrating. But when he was on the show, he was polite, and so we never really laid into him. There was a bit of a chuckle when he mentioned Ian Juby, because, well, Ian fucking Juby.
That's funny. Yeah.
Other than that, we were, even then, even despite the day, we're all being pretty nice to him.
Well, you definitely have to learn where he's coming from before you can talk shit about it, right?
Basically, yeah.
Well, look at New York, right? I mean, after you guys went to go see G-Man, he chilled out quite a bit. I mean, now he's back to his old tricks, but I mean, there was a noticeable change after he met some people face to face.
Yeah.
You had the chance to castrate him, JD. Why didn't you take it?
He's too fast for me.
Well, he wasn't able to catch me when I ran away.
To be fair, he does look like he can motor if he needs to.
Yeah. I think he was quite surprised that I could run.
Although I guess G-Man meeting you guys in New York made me think about the movie Get Out. It might have been a Get Out type experience for him for a little while until he kind of got into a groove and mellowed out.
That was a good movie.
All right, so Sam leaves and then Sokka's back.
So he's on my troll list.
Conspiracy confirmed.
Yep, definitely. Hey, listen, guys, I'm gonna go because
Sokka's on your troll list.
Good night.
No. It's just I've got nothing to really say, to be honest. I mean, I'm just not doing much, not keeping up with much.
JD, your troll is stalking you in the live chat. Your troll is stalking you in the live chat. Just should be aware that your troll is stalking you in the live chat. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he's stalking JD because we all know he's a known stalker of JD's and he's trolling him. So.
Yeah.
JD.
JD, you got to keep your stalkers in check, man. Seriously, if you don't keep your stalkers in check, they're gonna just follow you around like little puppy dogs. Come on, control them, take charge.
I like all my little droogies.
They're adorably cute.
Yeah.
So, hypothetical question to you guys. Okay. Oh, wow! Look at that.
Wow, they were not thrilled about your hypothetical.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all hypothetical.
Yeah, my youngest hates hypotheticals. Like, I don't want to talk about fucking hypotheticals. Yeah. No.
Hypothetical.
Like, so, in the same sense that, like Ronnie and G-Man, well, not as much G-Man. G-Man does a lot of his own things there too, but like Ronnie, like I said, if Drake, Sam, and Steve left, there goes like most of his content. But if Ronnie left, what would you guys do? Would you guys move on to somebody else, or like? It wouldn't be
a blip on my radar, dude.
Yeah. Do you think
Ronnie's still around?
But no, the question I'm asking is like, do you think the dynamic of your channel would change? Like, if that happened, like it would just still be just a shit talking, just shit talk about other people.
Pretty much. Well, and also, I have more than shit talking. I got guests. I have good guests. JD occasionally will try to, have a little.
It doesn't matter. JD is like
that, but
JD does shit talking across the board. Like,
he's
I'm
it's
an
not
equal
focused.
opportunity shit talker.
Yeah, he brings new people into the shit talk constantly. Sometimes I tune into Talking Shit Tuesday. I'm like, who are we talking about? Oh, another flat earther? Like, oh, gee, that's a surprise.
Is that the real Darth Dawkins? And
there's a real one and there's a fake one.
Both of them
the real
are
one
there.
The weird one has 169 subs. The 01 does not. Is obviously the fake one.
Oh, for goodness sake.
CJD, now, see what happens when you don't control your stalkers? They frickin' multiply.
Oh, so
I'm so sorry.
Oh, dear.
Damn you, JD.
Just sit back, though, for a minute and imagine that. Like, Darth cloning himself and then spreading all over the internet like Agent Smith.
More like herpes.
Oh, dear God.
I'm terrified now.
Darth
I'm sorry about the nightmares, guys, but I figured I'd share the misery.
Darth, it literally is the herpes zoster virus of the internet. Which is shingles, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nasty
I like how my favorite thing about Darth Dawkins is how most Christians don't even take him seriously at this point. I like that.
That is funny, right? Even the mainstream Christians are like, "Fuck, this guy's." I mean, Matt Slick and the group even shut him down the other night. They were like, "Yeah," they even straight up told me the Council of Google Plus. They're just like, "Yeah, Darth is just he's batshit even for them."
Yeah.
Which one is which? It's kind of hard to tell which one's which. Unless you go to their channel and just...
Pose law.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? See, I have to admit, though, it makes things very awkward when you get that sort of thing going on.
The one saying something interesting, right?
Yeah, the fake one is more entertaining, sure.
Yeah, but the problem is that if you don't know it, then a couple of months down the line, you say, but you said X, Y, and Z. And it turns out they didn't say it at all. It was a fake one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan
of it. It's a real problem because all it does is set everybody up for a fall.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of emulating other people. I'm not. And in fact, I think we need to actually not let people emulate other people. I think it does present a problem because if somebody like making a Fiona account and I'm looking in the live chat and I see Fiona that said something that I don't think what Fiona would actually say, and I don't bother, I don't have time to check it. I personally would, but other people may not. They just might, attribute something to her that she didn't say. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. So I'm going to actually remove the fake one. Sorry. Make sure I get the right one.
I mean, I don't think anything nasty is meant by it.
No, but it's just...
can be a big problem.
I don't want to block because... Sorry. I'm just going to put a timeout for right now, and that way at least we'll know who the original one is.
Will the real Darth Dawkins please stand up?
Please stand up. Please stand up. I'm Darth Dawkins, and you're the not Darth Dawkins, and I can't rap. I'm the real
Like
Darth.
Spartacus.
How's that go?
Well, I was thinking more like Spartacus, right? Like, I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
I was thinking more like there can only be one, like Highlander.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. We just let them all like cut each other's heads off, and there could be only one.
Well, it's kind of like the Dark Knight, where the Joker says, he offers to hire the thugs, but he says there's only room for one, so he snaps the whole queue in two and then drops it on the floor.
I don't even remember.
Tryouts.
Yes, we're going to have tryouts.
Yeah, well, Darwin's left, so your stalker left you. Yes, of course.
Has anyone heard from Brenda?
Brenda is very happy, I guess, in Discord. Just chilling over there. Doesn't really want to have anything to do with anybody other than the Discord people that actually,
right.
So whatever.
No, I just wanted to know she was okay.
Yeah, I guess she's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
I blame the Bible Thing Weenut show for that.
Sorry?
At least you blame the Bible Thing Weenut show?
Well, yeah, Brenda used to, it was a couple months ago, Brenda used to show up there quite regularly to talk to them. And they all insisted on calling Brenda a he.
I know.
Yeah, Andrew Rappaport started that kind of, yeah.
Yeah, nicknamed, I think it was Bob. And I ever since then, Brenda's, like, it was very gradual at first, but she, started to tilt harder and harder and harder until I think finally just tempers got lost the other day in MKs, and enough was enough. So to hell with you guys, and snipe.
But there was nothing going on in that hangout that was even trigger worthy. She got muted.
No, I wouldn't say that, Steve. I mean, if you actually watch what led up to it, she was trying to talk and was being interrupted by multiple people. And so she was trying to finish off what she was saying. And she kept repeating the first few words of the phrase as a hint to them that, I'm trying to say something here. And they ended up mocking her for saying these words over and over and over again. And why is she saying this? And they were so unaware that they had run right over the top of her. And then they were mocking her for being interrupted.
Yeah, I get that. I saw that. But again,
and it was one of the most blatant, nasty sort of occurrences that I've seen in a while.
But I know this sounds bad, but she puts herself in those positions. She goes in there to talk to these people and knowing that they have no respect for her.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But I watched that to see how it all unfolded. And I was quite shocked at the way she was treated. And the fact that they didn't grasp that the reason she kept repeating the words was her way of politely saying, "You've interrupted me. May I please finish?"
It was a little grating, though.
Sorry?
It was a little grating the way she was doing it.
Yeah, but I mean, I've done the same thing. Because it is a way of sort of dropping the hint that I want to finish.
Yeah.
Without saying, "Shut the fuck up and let me finish."
Let the record show.
Yeah. I just found that a really shocking display. Now, I'm not saying that excuses of sniping the hangout. Please don't think that I'm saying that.
Right.
But the behaviour of them all, the way they all behaved, and then mocked her for being interrupted by them. Seriously?
Yeah, it's atrocious, and I agree with you. But here's the thing: obviously, if she's going to be volatile, and this is not the first instance of her being volatile.
No, I understand that.
I have no choice. I can't have her in a hangout. Now, you guys can.
I'm not arguing with you about that at all.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is that the lead up to it was one of the worst displays I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, they were pretty dickish.
Yeah. And it's sad, really.
Well, MK, he came back, and he came back, I think, with a vengeance. He's worse than when he left.
Oh, he couldn't moderate to be out of paper bag.
How is that possible?
He hasn't pissed on camera, so I'm going to have to, or shown off any of his piss on camera, so I'm going to have to disagree.
You know what? I don't. He might have had some instances that I'm not aware of. I don't know, but he just, I don't know. He came on and he talked to me for a while. Remember, and people got on him a little bit. Okay, he was fine. He left, and then he messaged me later on saying, "You owe me an apology." And I'm like, "What for? What?" And he's like, "Oh, well, because you guys treated me like shit and wouldn't listen to me, blah blah blah." I'm like, "What? No, you just we're being MK, but eventually your arguments are just not something that we can go further down. It just doesn't make sense to me." But you were giving airtime, you were talking, and we were conversing. He didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I like about MK right now, granted, he seems to be a bit more of a hardcore conspiracy theorist, which is always troubling. But he's doing us. I think he's doing a much better job of moderating his room, right? Like he told
the one Brenda was in.
Well, right,
Yeah,
and he ended up saying something about that later on about how I think he was actually AFK at the time, but he got into a discussion with Darth Dawkins. It was going on about a week ago, and Darth kept interrupting him and talking over him, and MK was pushing the point like, hey, you got to stop doing that. So Darth rage quit, and then MK in a public video said, "Don't come back until you apologize for that."
Yeah, I saw that.
He also kicked Darth once because Darth was giving Bob a hard time, and he's been working harder on being a much better moderator. And he can have all the whacked out ideas he wants, but if he's going to run basically 24/7 chat rooms that's well moderated, I'm for it.
Yeah. But what happened to Brenda was pretty bad.
Yeah, but he gets the cesspool in there. I mean, when you combine Brenda with people like Arcane Logos or Dionysus or any of those people, it's just nothing good is going to come of it. Nothing.
That is very true. But on that note, I'm going to go, guys. Take it easy. Be good.
Yep. Thanks for coming by. Hope you're feeling good.
Be nice. Okay.
I can't promise anything.
Well, for you, it'd be good morning and not good night.
It is. It's 3:20. Night.
Get some sleep.
So, I'm probably going to be going to the store here. Again, this was just, spur of the moment hangout. Anybody wants to run these things, let me know. I'll just make your manager, and you can run this channel any way you want for your own whatever. But Tuesday, I guess JD's having his TST about getting invited in to talk about atheism and then being kicked out because he's on Darwin's troll list.
What hangout was he invited into, if I can ask?
Tonight, in Ronnie's little hangout, although he's already taken it down. I probably was that embarrassed.
Yeah, he did. He already took it down. Oh, God.
Yeah, it is already gone, sadly.
What happened with Sam? They were sitting there themselves. It was Darwin's deity and Veronica saying they wanted atheists to come in, right? And the atheists were too scared, and they've ran all the atheists off the internet, and there's no more atheists to talk to because we're all crying. Well, I'm not atheist, but secularists too, and skeptics, all crying in their bedrooms, going, "Oh my God, Darwin's deity he's just so mean to us." And JD said, "Fuck it, I'll go in there." And he went in there, and Darwin's deity said, "Oh, JD's on my troll list," and he immediately ejected him.
But yeah, you wonder when you have someone like DD in there why you don't get good dialogue.
Go figure, right?
I mean, like this is
It was
the
such a shock. I gotta say.
When it comes to Veronica, right? Like the biggest thing is she really wants to be taken seriously. That's something she desperately wants, and that's a huge advantage for the rest of us because I honestly could give two shits whether people take me seriously. If they take me seriously, great. If they don't, it's not, it's
you might care if your professors take you seriously.
Yeah, I care if my advisor takes me seriously, which he does. So, like when we get into wars over who can use more CPU time yesterday, friendly war, but yeah, or granted, I don't go in on Ronnie nearly as well as Drag does, but that's for a reason. I can't do it as awesomely as Drag can.
That is true. Drag has skill.
Go back.
Drag has a lot of free time also.
Yeah, he has a lot. Well, he just moved, so he doesn't really. He's not. He's just getting settled in and not doing too much. But yeah, it is entertaining to see Veronica have such strange behavior.
What's interesting is that during several times, I didn't watch very much of it, but it seemed like he didn't really agree with what Darwin's data was saying, but he was the only other person in the room, and he's on his team. So Darwin was like, yeah, before they talk about evolution, but first, don't they need a paradigm first? It's all worldview dependent. And he's just pausing, and Darwin's kept asking Ronnie questions, and Ronnie didn't answer. He was just waiting.
Oh God, is DD trying to parrot bring Thomas Kuhn into presuppositionalism? Because if so, that's really sad. Have you heard of Thomas Kuhn, JD?
Oh, who is that?
He's a philosopher of science. He's basically the big guy after Karl Popper. Right. So he introduced the idea that when you look at the way that science is done, it's not done in this really neat, like Popperian sense. That's actually not the case, and like no philosophers of science apparently believe that anymore. What he introduced the idea that really it comes down, like it is a lot of observations and a lot of the science that we do is dependent on having like a paradigm, right? And so
I think it's more that he just picked up the word paradigm as something else to use for the same bullshit he's used.
No. He's mentioned this kind of stuff before, where he is like, well, scientists don't, it's not like they're being rational. They're just tied to their paradigm, right? And so that's the excuse he says for why scientists aren't creationists. Now, granted, right, like a good amount of science, like scientists are influenced by people who they come up under, but it's not as if scientists are naive drones that just go along with anything.
Yeah, he never got even close to that far because again, Ronnie didn't seem to want to agree, and so he ended up just being quiet a lot. And it was funny because Didi was asking him questions, like, he was like setting him up to set. He was trying like, here, Ronnie, set me up for my next bit. Hey, what do you think about this? And Ronnie would just kind of sat there, and then he pretended that he got the answer he wanted, and Didi continued.
It is quite entertaining, isn't it?
What was that?
It is quite entertaining, huh?
Oh, I was cracking up, like, because Ronnie's like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's all right. Like he didn't know what to do, and apparently it lasted no time. It's like, we want people in here. You guys are all cowards. Oh, they're here. Go away. Like more comedy. Definitely worth talking about tomorrow on top of G-Man and other silly stuff that's been going on.
JD, you should be thanking him for not letting you engage with the Darth Dawkins because that's just a waste of your time.
Oh, well, I mean, all of it is a waste in a sense, but I love talking to Didi. Didi, there's a reason I'm on his troll list. He doesn't fare well against me at all. It's like the same reason Joe Sansi, despite being a total gentleman 99% of the time, is on the troll list because he doesn't know how to respond to the things Joe Sansi says. You put Didi in a room with me right now, I'd say, okay, yes, I have epistemic limitations. Next, anything else you got to bring up? Oh, yeah, your God exists. No, it doesn't. No, I'm not going to bother proving it. Fuck off. I mean, you can't get anywhere with me. So I'm on his troll list forever.
You're just
you must be
distraught. Yes,
so disappointed.
I have a hard time moving on. It's just very difficult. I miss him so.
Drink some more scotch and you'll let it go. Or scotch only
Scotch.
for Tuesdays.
Definitely scotch.
So since you can't beat down Dee Dee's repetitive arguments, what else would you like to talk about?
Well, fellas, I'm going to run. Y'all take care. Have a good one.
Good night, Heavy.
Night all.
Without DD, we have nothing to talk about.
Dan.
Well, it's partially my fault. Like I'm writing some code as we speak.
Well, we don't want to hear about that.
No, I'm going to be bringing it to a close. Like I said, if you guys want to run something while I'm at the store, because I got to take off here, I'm heading to the store, that's fine. Just, message me and I'll make your manager. But if not, we'll wait Talking Shit Tuesday on Tuesday, so we get your daily dose of talking shit from JD Kane. Yay. But
can't wait.
Woohoo. All right. Shalom, guys.